Hello everybody, this video is going to be about my Mace Windu Lightsaber that I built a while ago. This is actually going to serve as a reference and a quick video guide for the future owner of the lightsaber. With that, I'm going to get right into it. This is going to be the box that it comes in, straight from Corban. When you open it up, you've got the lightsaber, of course, the chassis is inside the lightsaber, and then you've got your battery. This is the Allen key. These are extra grips. These are the tall versions. These ones are short, the ones that I put on. The taller ones are a little more accurate to the master replicas, maybe the screen one as well. It's just not quite comfortable to hold, so I do have the shorter grips on here. I did have to glue them down with some Loctite though, because they did tend to peel off. So if you do want to take them off, you're going to have to be very careful and use some kind of dissolving glue thing to get them off. So unfortunately, it's not going to be as easy to take these off, but I don't think you'll ever need to since these are not quite as nice to hold. But if you ever do, just keep that in mind. And these should not be going anywhere. They're quite solid now. This here is your replacement blade plug. This is actually not the blade plug version. This is the emitter with the blade, the one you can put your blade in. It's got 3 retention screws on it. I'll be using that later. In the lightsaber right now, you've got the blade plug. As you can see, it's quite nice. To take it out, you just unscrew it. And there you go. That's the blade plug. You can see the NeoPixel pins in there. And pretty much, when you want to put the blade in, just swap out the emitter. And then just screw it on. For now, I'm going to keep the blade plug though, because it'll look pretty nice when we turn on the lightsaber. To operate it, you unscrew this main body section. You can unscrew the pommel, but that doesn't really do anything because you can't access the chassis in it. You can just see the speaker. So just screw this back on. You'll pretty much never need to take this off. And I believe this bottom section here also unscrews, but again, you won't need to unscrew that ever. To operate it, you just unscrew the main grip section. And then here you go, you've got the OLED display, you've got your speaker. This is where you can put the battery in. You can put it in, take it out directly from here. I designed it in a way where it allows you to access the battery even when the chassis is in the hilt. And you just pull it out. Got your chassis here. This one has the activation button being the top, auxiliary being the bottom. This is how you access the soundboard. You just press that and you've got your SD card. That's where you do all your customization. I'm going to have in the description of this video all of the reference guides and the manual stuff, customization links, so you can customize this however you want and you can learn how it all works. For now though, I'm going to put in a battery and show you how it operates. So negative goes to the spring, positive goes towards the speaker here. Turns itself on. I have it as this little animation just for the resting. The auxiliary, you press it and you can cycle through the different screensavers here. Different animations. This is the midichlorian counter, which goes up with different magnetism levels, since I do have force activation on this. This is the power level indicator, as you can see. This is all filled up to the top. It just has one little bar missing, maybe 2. And then this is the font. Another crystal animation, and we're back to the beginning. So you can turn it on by pressing the activation button. You can't really see there, but it slowly extended on the NeoPixel connector, so the pixel accents lit up in a circle. Then you have classes, lockup. This is your on animation for the OLED display. You can turn it off just by pressing the activation button again. It's really easy to operate it in the lightsaber. You just line up the buttons here with the button. This here is the activation and auxiliary button, just a little rocker. You line up the channel with the button and it'll slide in. There you go. Put in the back. Press the activation and there you go, it lights up. It's really, really cool. It's starting on the non-working font, so when you don't have a blade in here and activate the blade detection, it'll work as a non-working lightsaber. That's what I like to call it. But you can swap fonts by just holding down the auxiliary button.
Sound bank selection.
And this is its working font here. There you go. So you can see it's a nice purple here. Flashes, lockup effect. If you want to go into the sound selection menu or the sound font menu, hold down the auxiliary button.
Sound bank selection.
Press activation to go backwards and auxiliary to go forwards.
Blue, green, red, white, yellow.
And here are all the fonts. I'll just cycle through them for you.
You are as clumsy as you are stupid.
Take your weapon. This is the weapon of a Jedi.
Ah, yes.
A Jedi's weapon.
Nightfall.
CrystalFX.
CrystalFX.
Nebula.
Granny.
Revolt. Shut the force up the over. Show.
So there's about 30 different fonts on here. I also have
This
about
is General Kenobi.
Ancient.
Audio player.
SD card system men games.
30 colors and 30 blade profiles on here. So you've got quite a lot to work from if you don't want to customize it right away. And we're back to the non-working font. So now let's get to putting the blade in. I'll show you how to do that and how to operate the blade detection. You just swap out the emitters here. I also want to mention that there's quite a few other parts that you can remove here. You can unscrew this top portion. Again, you never need to, but just letting you know that it does happen. You can unscrew it. There you go. You can also unscrew the gold ribbed section in the middle. You can unscrew it at the top and the bottom, but you won't need to do that either. So the only thing you need to keep in mind is you can unscrew the grip and you can unscrew the emitter. So now, you take your Allen key. If I can open it up real quick. There you go. You take that. Just want to make sure all the screws are out of the way so you can put the blade in properly. And there's 3 of them to keep it nice and secure. Now you take your 7/8 inch blade. I like to make sure that it all connects evenly, so I like to put it on a flat surface, because with blade detection, it can be a bit finicky sometimes. Just put it in flat, and there you go. Hold it there while you tighten it so that it doesn't disconnect. If you ever get bothered by the blade detection, you can turn it off real simply in the config file. It's in the prefs or the special folder. I forgot which one, but if you do want to deactivate it, just send me a message and I'll tell you how. And I'll just show it to you. It's pretty easy. You just change one little thing in the line. But you heard the detection sound. Swaps to the working font. Can't really see it on camera here, but it's got localized blast through blocks, localized lockup that changes. You can also do clashes if you point down and hold the auxiliary and clash. Forgot which angle it was. But you can do tip drag somehow. I forgot how it's activated, but I will have a quick interaction guide in the description of the video so you can mess around with this however you like. It's got clashes, you hit the handle. There we go. It's better if you hit the blade of it. See? You can also adjust that in the settings if you wish. It's a lot of different effects that honestly I've forgotten how to trigger all of them. But let's just quickly cycle through some of these for you. I know if you hold down the activation and then you clash, or you hold down power and then clash, I have it set where it goes forward 1 in your fonts, so you don't have to always go into your menu. You can cycle forward just by clashing and holding the activation button. Here's green. There we go. Red. I forget where to hit it. I think it's better if you hit it around the blade in the front area. So if you clash, yeah, there we go. That's music. You can trigger the music. If you double tap the activation, it triggers the sound the music file if you want it, or if it has it on the font itself. There we go. Sometimes that can be a bit finicky, which is why I prefer the menu select. It's just a lot more accurate. But as you can see, we've got all the different colors on there. Let me just go into spectrum mode real quick. If you have the lightsaber on and you press both buttons at the same time, you go into spectrum mode. It starts off with the blade styles. So you can cycle through the different blade styles just by tilting the blade. Oh, it actually starts with the color, my bad. It's been a while since I've done one of these. But you can cycle through the colors just by twisting the blade. So you can see here, got them all set up to different colors. I believe this one was somewhere on blue. And then to enter it in, you just tap again. If you want to go and change the blade styles, you just hold down the activation button. You go into blade profiles, and then this is where you change the animation. So there's more flicker on this one. This one's steady. This one's got a shooting up energy. You can't really see it very well on camera. This one's rainbow. Solid rainbow. This one is sort of an Eye of Sauron type thing. This is an up and down energy beam. This one is a flowing up energy. We've got more different types. I've got a ton of them you can play with. And then again, to select it, you just tap the button and then it's activated. Now, let me show you the Bluetooth. With Bluetooth, pretty much, it's very, very easy. You just go to the CrystalFX app. Let me get that on my phone here. CrystalFX. You load it. You find FSC BT909LE. And it will ask for a code the first time that you connect to it. It's going to be 6 zeros. So 000000. All of this info is going to be in the description of the video again. You can have access to all of these different things. You can have some fun with it. Remote control is just, the simple on and off. You can affect all of the different, and trigger all of the different effects that we've got here. You can swap fonts. So you can see. And then you've got the custom commands. This is what I use to do, to calibrate the magnetic field sensors. You just go in here and type in mag calib, and then it's magnetic calibration, and then you just press send, and then it'll start the whole process. You just spin it this way, sideways, and then you roll it, and then it pretty much just calculates all of the magnetic field around it so that it can detect the changes in magnetic field. I will show you that real quick. If you take a magnetic ring or something magnetic, you can just wave it over the soundboard and it'll turn on. It's really, really fun, but you'll need a magnetic ring for that. And then something else you should keep in mind is that you can update the firmware straight from here. You just follow some directions, once again on the manuals or the resources I'll have in the description. You just find the newest firmware update, rename it to fw.dat, I think. It's been a while, but it'll be in the description. Then you just go to the firmware update and you can just update the firmware in one of these 3 different levels. So this will pretty much allow you to do whatever you want. You can change blade profiles, you can edit your config from here, you can change the colors here, and then you can also go to the library of blade profiles that CrystalFocus.net has, and it'll allow you to use any of the ones they have on their blade style library, which is pretty fun. So that's pretty much all you need to keep in mind with this lightsaber. Just keep an eye on the blade detection. Make sure it's all the way down when you put in the blade and you tighten the screws, because if it's not, then it can be a bit finicky, where sometimes it detects it's in, sometimes it doesn't. So make sure it's all the way flat, and then you're all good, and then you just pull it out. Has the detached sound, and then you're all set and back to normal. So yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know. If you have any questions, just let me know. And then check the description of the video, reference this video itself if you are missing any of these basic commands and how to operate it. And that's pretty much everything. So I hope you enjoy the lightsaber, and may the Force be with you.